Shalom. Once again, we come out here week in and week out to prophesy about the up and coming calamities of this world to come. And without further ado, got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. Yeah, what we're doing right now is we're doing a Sunday camp because, you know, certain things that happened yesterday which prohibited us from not doing the work on a Saturday, but we're here on a Sunday. And as you can see, it's just me, you know, me and this brother, you know, through the Spirit of the Lord, we managed to still continue the word to this very day, you know. So that's why it's just two of us. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a scripture. Oh, without further ado, also, got to give all double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone as well. You know, salute to the Akim out there that's pushing this truth and sincerity. All right. So yeah, we're going to start with a scripture now.
Right, Isaiah 61, starting at 1. It says, the Spirit of the Lord power is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. Right, the Lord has anointed us to preach good tidings to the meek. All right, and the meek in this case would be the children of Israel. That's the only nation that the Lord is only dealing with. You know, because when it comes to preaching the word, who are we to preach this word to? Okay, we're to preach this word unto the children of Israel, and that's what the Bible is all about. And these are the children of Israel, the sign that you see, right? Okay, so that's why we come out here to do this work, because we're here to seal the elect of the Heavenly Father, man. And we come out here in all seasons, in season and out of season, you know. And that's what we gotta do, brothers. Got to still push the word, you know, regardless of if anything. Now, certain situations happen to the point where certain brothers can't come. Because, you know, today is a Sunday, and most brothers, you know, they doing their little work on the side on a Sunday, most likely. So it's just me and this brother. And, you know, I don't normally work on the Sundays either. You know what I mean? I mainly work on the weekends. On the weekdays, excuse me. And that kind of thing. So it's all right, you know. The Lord paved the way for us to teach this word still. But yeah, go on, brother. It says, He has sent me to bind up the broken.
Yeah, and that's what
broken hearted.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do with this word. It's to encourage the Akim out there to continue in the faith, man, and to wake up those that are listening and learning at the same time, to bind up the broken hearted. Because as a whole, man, the nation of Israel is a broken nation and broken in spirit. Okay? Which the word contrite means broken. So we're here to raise up those that are broken. All right? Which are the lowly and the meek. Which would be the elect of the nation of Israel, those that receive this truth. Go on, brother.
It says to proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Exactly, to proclaim liberty to those that are bound. That are in the prison houses. And the prison houses is referring to the different captivities that our people are under. So we're an ambassadors of the Heavenly Father, and this is why we got to do this work. You got to do your sit downs, and you have to also come out in the hours and the Bibles. If you can't come out on a Saturday, then try and make an effort to come on a Sunday, man. If the Most High gives you the time to do so. Go on, brother.
Verse 2 says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord,
and also to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. Hold that, brother. Give me Zephaniah 1 and 14. We're going to show you what the day of the Lord is. Those of you that don't know and don't realize what that day is going to consider or consist of. Okay, because as we always preach about and teach about, is that this society is going to be destroyed real soon. First economically, and then it's going to be nuclearized. Okay? That's the end all be all. You know, and you have people out here, they celebrating Christmas and getting all into this satanic holiday, which has nothing to do with who the world called Jesus Christ, but has everything to do with Nimrod. Okay, and it really goes back to the worship of Nimrod's peace. You really dissect the belief system or the concept of Christmas. Has nothing to do with the Most High. Go on, bro.
Right, Zephaniah 1 and 14 says, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near.
And what does it consist of? Go on.
And hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
You're going.
That day is a day of wrath,
a day of trouble and distress.
So now what we're finding out is that the day of the Lord is a day of wrath and distress. Okay? Now we understand that the Most High is not about peace or just peace. Now the Lord is going to bring peace on the earth, but there's a time for everything under the sun. And right now, in this day and age, it's a time for great wrath and destruction out here. Why? Because the sins are indeed heavy. So being that the sins are heavy of this empire, guess what? The destruction is going to be heavy upon it. Okay, go on, brother.
Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath,
You're going.
a day of trouble and distress.
That's what consists of the day of the Lord. So that means all of the people that have brought wickedness on this side, they're going to receive the condemnation. Oh, what you got, brother? Get me 1 Peter's, the 3rd chapter, where it speaks about this word is kept in reserve unto fire for ungodly men. All right. Yeah, 2 Peter's, brother. 2 Peter's 3 and verse 7.
2 Peter 3 and 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
And that's what the day of the Lord is going to be against. Those that are ungodly, those that are not corresponding with the ways of the Heavenly Father, which we have the blueprint of them. Okay, the righteousness that comes from this book. So most people in this society, they're just pretty much doing things according to this world or this fashion. They're not realizing that the fashion of this world is going to pass away with great destruction. Why? Because this society goes against all of the laws of the Heavenly Father. And this society's under a negative dark vibration. So the Lord, in order for the Lord to bring light into the world or light onto the earth, this shit got to go down. Okay, this revival of ancient Roman system has to go out. And that's what the day of the Lord is going to be about, the destruction of the ungodly and the arising of the elect, the righteous, the good seed. Go on.
Verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years.
So we got that. So go back to where you was at before, Zephaniah, the 1st chapter.
Zephaniah 1 and 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress.
Right, that day is a day of wrath and a day of trouble and distress. The day of the Lord, the day of who you call the Most High God. So He's going to come and bring destruction and wrath. And it's reasonable. It's reasonable so, because like I said, if you look at the ways of this world and the things that people now believe in, which is perverse against the Heavenly Father. So because of that, and the evil works that are being wrought, because of those beliefs, they're going to suffer that. Okay, the people that are actually following the ways of this world, this satanic system, they're going to be pretty much roasting in that lake of fire, and also not just roasting in that lake of fire, but they're also going to be starving to death, because famines is going to come, and all manner of hell is getting ready to come on all levels. Okay, that's what's coming down in Great Britain and also America too. Just because it's Christmas doesn't mean things are going to change all of a sudden. No, we're dealing with the real world now. Go on, brother.
Right, continuing on, it says a day of wasteness and desolation.
Right, a day of the sword. So what's gonna waste? What kind of instrument is going to waste or bring in the day of wasteness? Those missiles. And this is why World War III is definitely up and going. Now it seems like nothing's going on if you're not privy to the news of what's going on around the world. Yeah, it seems like nothing ain't going to happen. But guess what? Things are happening. Those that our eyes are open can see that it's going to happen. And it's definitive that it's going to happen. Go on, brother.
A day of darkness and gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness.
Right, a day of clouds and thick darkness. In other words, metaphorically speaking, it's going to be a dark, dreadful day. It's not going to be a nice, beautiful day. Okay, so with that, brother, so I think we got the gist on that. Go back to where we was at originally.
Isaiah 61 and 3. I'll start from the top. Isaiah 61, starting from the top, the Spirit of the Lord power is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
So we're anointed to preach the good tidings. What is the tidings that we're trying to preach? That's within his Bible. That's the tidings. Not no Quran, not no other book out there, but the Bible. The Bible is the universal book. Whether you want to recognize that, believe that or not, it is what it is, man. And the Bible is living proof today. People like to say, well, the Bible is 1,000+ years old, or it's 3,000 years old, but that's not the case. If your eyes are open, you'll understand that. Because the things that are happening in this earth, the Bible already predated it to happen. Okay? The Bible already predated certain things to happen that's happening on this earth even now. Like the RFID microchip. You got guys in this camp called the Adam Abbott camp. They're saying, well, the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast is sin. But that makes no sense at all. Or the mark of you got certain guys even saying the mark of the beast is referring to Christianity, which that makes no sense either when you actually dive into the meaning of that. Okay, the mark of the beast is indeed the RFID or the NFC microchip, and that's just the bottom line. And if you can't see that, then hey man, you guys out there, you're not men of the law. You're just regular Negroes. That's putting a covering of being an Israelite, but you're really just a nigger perpetrating a fraud, man. Go on, brother.
It says, he hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives.
And a part of binding up the brokenhearted is teaching the truth the right way. If you teaching the truth in an uncertain way, which the word uncertain is untruthful, then you going up, man. Give me that and hold that, brother. Give me the book of I believe it's 1 Corinthians 11. Let me see something real quick. I believe it's 1 Corinthians 11 and 27, I believe it is. That's the Passover scripture. I believe it's 11 and right. 27. Go ahead, brother. 1 Corinthians
11 and 27. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, a little bit louder, brother.
I'll do that again. 1 Corinthians 11 and 27. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord.
And that's the word. That represents the word. The bread and the what's within the cup is the word. So if you're preaching the word uncertainty, then you're in damnation in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Like a lot of these pastors today. A lot of them are in the church, in the pulpit, trying to get money, which they get money from the people. And they're doing a terrible job doing that. Misleading people, putting bad spirits on people. Okay? And then you have all these different camps as well, these Israelite camps that are teaching also for hire, that have sold out, took the 501c3 charter. The Bible tells us not to make a covenant with these people. Okay? But yet you're proclaiming to be an Israelite, but you're broken that law. You've made a covenant with the enemy that's going to take you out. Like that don't even make sense. You're going, brother.
Just pertaining to what he's talking about and their doctrines. Now, every other camp out there more or less is denying that the chip is the mark of the beast. And they're all coming up with this point that it's a philosophy or it's an embargo.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Right? Like to say it's an embargo. Yeah.
But the scripture tells you plainly, man, that you will not be able to buy or sell. You know, save you have the mark of the beast, man. So I need them to explain. We need them to explain how an embargo or some sort of treaty or philosophy is going to stop you from buying and selling in these dark times.
It doesn't make any sense.
And they can't explain that. They explain away the chip, but they can't explain their philosophy on the chip. So like the prophet said, man, they either sold out or the Lord's not dealing with them.
Exactly. And you know what too, brother, I don't mean to change topic, but look at this right here. Look at this right here. That's a sign of the degradation of Esau. And remember me and you was talking, brother, right, when I was here earlier before. What's happening is a lot of these young girls today are highly hollow inside, man. They need that recognition. They need attention like never before. It's getting bad now. It's gotten to the point where you got these women out here, they walking around butt-ass naked now. Just so they can be seen because no one's recognizing them. So that's showing you right here that this society is finished. You've never seen that in Great Britain in the 30s. You would never seen that in the 40s or 50s or even the 60s. You would never see no crap like that in Broad Street. So that lets us know right there that Esau's through. It's finished. It's a wrap. Okay? You got a grown-ass woman naked on the street. Damn near naked on the street.
It's not warm out here.
Yeah, and it's cold as hell.
Warm out here.
So I mean, that's somebody that needs attention. That's seeking for attention severely. They feel like if they don't get no attention, then their world is crap. Their life is crap. I mean, you gotta have some. That's a mental instability right there, man. Go on, brother.
Right, back in 1 Corinthians, it's 11 and 28 says, but let a man examine himself.
Yeah.
And so let him eat that bread and drink of that cup.
Exactly. So when you teaching this word of the Heavenly Father, man, and you drinking this cup, you gotta examine what you're saying is back. It can be backed up, and if it can't be backed up, then don't teach it. Because all you're gonna be doing is adding and taking away from the book. Matter of fact, brother, get me that too. You know where to get that. Matthew, what is it? Revelations 22. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta realize and examine what you're teaching out there, man. If something don't sound correct in the verses that you're breaking down, don't go into that because all you're gonna be is in damnation.
Right, Revelation 22 and 18 it says, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book.
Go ahead.
If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
Exactly. So if you add into something that ain't even in there, like for example, the mark of the beast is an embargo, or the mark of the beast is Christianity, or it's a philosophy, then you add in and taking away from that which was said in that book, which is the Bible. And that's why it tells you to examine yourself whether when you drink of when you drink of this cup and you eat of this bread. Now I want you to read that again, brother.
Which one? Revelation or back?
No, back to Corinthians, yeah. That's why it says examine.
Right, 1 Corinthians 11 and 27. It says, wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord.
Exactly. You're going to be guilty of the body, man. You're going to be misleading the flock because we all represent the body. A cat represents the body or a member of Yahweh Shah. So within this body, if one guy is teaching a false doctrine or a leader of that camp is teaching a false doctrine, then the whole thing is going to flop, man. Like the scripture says, it says a little leaven of the whole lump. So that's why you have elders, you have apostles that are there to set the record straight. And you have to listen to those elders, man. Go on, brother.
Verse 28, but let a man examine himself, so let him eat of that bread.
That's why it says, let a man examine himself whether he eat of that bread. Because you don't want to be guilty of adding and taking away from the book. Because if you do so, then you're going to receive the plagues that are written in the book. Go on, brother.
But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he eateth and drinketh unworthily.
Go ahead.
Eateth and drinketh damnation to himself,
right,
not discerning the Lord's body.
Not like I said. So being that this is Great Millstone, the world body of every member of Great Millstone, or the brothers that's in the truth that teach the complete truth. Okay, everybody represents a member of the Lord or of the Messiah. So if one guy's teaching a wrong doctrine, then you're gonna mess with the whole thing, and Yahweh Shah ain't dealing with that. All right, go on, brother.
Verse 30 says, for this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord. Yeah,
when we are judged, we are chastened by the Lord, and the reason why the Lord is chastening us right now, because that's the Most High. What He's doing is He's getting us right while we're growing in grace, and also so that we can also overcome the destruction to come. Okay, because see, the world is already condemned. But we're not condemned because we're in the Word. So being that we're in the Word, we're going to be chastised. So that we can then stay away from the world. Okay? So it's that discipline. The Lord is disciplining us. Go on, brother.
It says here, verse 32, but when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world.
Exactly, that we should not be condemned with the world. Like I said, because everybody out here that's walking backwards and forwards celebrating the satanic holiday, which proves that they're condemned. Okay, because there's a lot of information out there proving that or backing how Christmas is nothing but a satanic holiday. And believe you me, you still got some jakes out there that are actually participating in this satanic holiday. So they're going to be condemned because they're going according to the ways of the world. Which the ways of the world is against Heavenly Father. Matter of fact, brother, you can get that too. Get me, I believe it's 1 John, the 2nd chapter. Because the Lord, anything that this world brings out or invokes, the Lord is not dealing with it. Okay? The Lord ain't with that, man. The Lord ain't with no damn Christmas. Now, some may like to say, well, Christmas is a celebration of Christ, but it has nothing to do with it. As they call it, which we call them the Mashiach Yahushua. But it has nothing to do with who the world called Jesus Christ. It has nothing to do with him at all. Okay, when you break down the word Christmas also means the death of the Lord. From the word Christ means the anointed, and the word Mass means death. When you break the word Christmas down. So it has nothing to do with the Bible. Go on, brother.
1 John 2 and 15 says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
And this is John saying this, a prophet, a man of the Lord saying this. Go on.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Go on.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
It is of the world. So this right here is not of the Father. This is of the flesh right here. This is of man. This is a man-made paganistic system. That has nothing to do with the statutes and commandments, as I've said earlier, the commandments of the Lord. So what do we call this society? It's a paganistic society. This is why you have paganistic high holidays that people are celebrating. Okay? And you got people that claim to be Christians that celebrate this holiday, and it has nothing to do with the Bible whatsoever. That's because they're under the influences of the world. Go on, brother.
Verse 17 says, and the world passeth away.
And this world is going to pass away greatly by way of nuclear destruction. And we've been preaching about this thing for 40, going on almost 50 years now. And now we seeing it happen. We're seeing that the prophecies take place, playing out right before us. Go on, brother.
But and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof.
And the lust thereof. Oh yeah, look at that nice car over there, man. And oh man, I would like to get a house like that. That's a large house right there, and it's beautiful. You know that I like that girl too. I want a piece of that, and that's what this society is all about. It's all about lusting after the things that you don't have, trying to prove a point, trying to show off to people. Okay, trying to convince yourself to the world. You understand what I'm saying? That's what this world is all about. You have to convince yourself and try to prove yourself to other people that don't even know you. Okay, that's the lust of man. That's also a part of this world. But that ain't of the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father is dealing with people that are conservative. You know, people that are actually stable-minded, and they're not concerned about what man thinks. All right, go on, brother.
It says,
concerned about pleasing man. Let me see that. Go on.
But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever.
Right, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. So yeah, when it's all said and done, yeah, we look crazy in the eyes of the people right now, but we're going to be the ones remaining in that day of great trouble, while everybody else, they're just going to be out, bugging the hell out, screaming and crying and just losing their mind. Because this society is going out. The crash is about the reach. So when that happens, you're going to see these same jokers out here. They're going to be running to and fro for help, for government support. And a lot of these women out here, they're going to be screaming, man. All you're going to hear is screams in the cities. Okay, and these men, these tough guys out here, these wannabe tough guys out here, they're gonna be streaming like bitches in that day too. When the deal goes down, when this crash happens, and they can't get access to food, they can't get access to money in their bank account. They're gonna be losing it. They're gonna be losing their cool, man. They're gonna fold up themselves like they were in a fetal position, but they were all tough and bad. Now all of a sudden they're not so bad now, and that's what's gonna happen. The Lord is gonna show who's really running things out here. Eventually. Go on, brother.
So they're back in Isaiah?
Huh?
Back in Isaiah?
Yeah. He got a precept. He can bring that out as well.
Back in Isaiah 61, it says to appoint, verse 3, it says to appoint them that mourn in Zion,
Right,
to give
so
them the
appoint-
beauty for ashes.
Right, so appoint them that mourn in Zion, again referring to the nation of Israel. So everybody can't be saved. No other nation cannot be saved because they are not under the covenant. Those that will be saved are those that were under the Abrahamic covenant and still out to this very day.